Aguermo is my second opponent in the 30th season, so second round. And that was quite an interesting match because my opponent had, I think, 22 Relic 9 and I think 19 level 9 Datacrons, as well as a bunch of level 6 to 8 and tons of level 3. So as you can see, when I was looking at the defense, my opponent already didn't clear my board, so I was not sure how to tackle this, but then I thought, just wing it. So I changed my defense up a little bit because I was seeing the level 9 Datacron on Ray, so I thought potentially I should keep up for offense and mirror this thing, which in my opinion is the easiest way to deal with Ray. And in this case, I also have a level 9 on Ray, so when we have the same stats, so the 15% TM, when there is no debuff no buff on ally, and the 75% more damage per ally in her ultimate. And so this kind of equals out the whole shenanigans with you have to time your ultimate right. I mean, there are still cases, depending on how fast your sides are, that you can outrun her when she goes into her first, like the opponent one, but in this case it wasn't really a problem. And so she had her ultimate, I went into mine, I was kind of safe, took out L3 here, as you can see, or as if you have seen, and then it's pretty much off to races on Armorer. And as in mirrors, as always, you just like want to spam the bonus protection so that you keep your friends alive and at some point just take out the others, and so that you end up in this situation where it's basically 3 versus 1, then just time your ultimate and then essentially take her out. And even though she has 3 best cast stacks, doesn't really matter in that case because the offensive is just through the roof and takes her out. So that was a good start. Then we had Lord Vader with again, interesting Datacron, but I think there was also some health steal, but it doesn't really matter when you use Supreme Kylo Ren, because his stacking damage at some point just like will one-shot Lord Vader. It doesn't matter if Lord Vader has health steal or not. Yeah, I was going in with water in a tank because there was also a Relic 9 Maul and I didn't want to take a risk. So I was sticking in first order Stormtrooper. You can also stick in crew, depending on the offense and the stats of your tank or like Maul, they will die anyway. It's mainly about just surviving like the first barrage of like the 5 stacks of anguish and then taking out Maul anyway. And as you can see here, the battle I've sped it up is almost over, but then because of the health steal, it's a little bit dragged into the length. And Lord Vader has kind of a comeback at some point, but overall it's not really an issue. You would just take him out. Of course, it can become an issue if you don't have the regen via the tank tech, or potentially the health tech would also work. But overall, easy battle. Then there was this Saudi team. And nothing much to say here. I think there was a TM Omicron on this one, which, yeah, doesn't really benefit them, at least not versus this counter, like if you take in Wampa, which is an easy solo. Also in 5s. In 5s it takes a little longer, because at one point you just like have the standoff of Wampa versus Saudi, and she is quite beefy. The higher relics, the more difficult it is, and you just, of course, you want to stack offense, so you can press auto at some point, as I did here, but you can also just at some point stop pressing auto, because at auto it doesn't use the, sometimes the AI doesn't use the first special, so you just want to go off auto and do that when you feel it's available or should be available, just to get your little bit more bonus protection back. And other than that, you just want to ramp with the roar. And at some point just do basics, because other than that you just waste time. And as you can see here, I also had Datacron, but it was maybe, I think it was just 6% more critical damage or something, and a little bit of tenacity, but nothing that really had a big impact on this match. The only problems you can have with versus sorting with Wampa is if there is tenacity down landed and someone who can stun, which wasn't the case. So then this was an interesting battle because here we had 25% turn meter at the start of battle, which doesn't really matter because 100's first anyway. But there was also this damage immunity, so I thought I potentially just should mirror this because I can dispel the damage immunity with our friend Chewbacca. I have a little bit of a safety net with the damage immunity from Bam myself as well, and it doesn't really matter that they have their 25% because my Han goes second anyway. It doesn't matter what they do. So yeah, and overall pretty simple battle, easy enough. And 54, but I didn't really care much about banners, I just wanted to get a full clear. Then there was this Darth Revan on defense, and I took in Starkiller. I didn't want to take a GL for this or anything else, or didn't want to take a risk with troopers. So I felt comfortable using this comp of Starkiller here. In freeze, it's debatable. I kind of prefer this one because you have at least a guaranteed basics from Vader, so you get assists from Starkiller, and so that's why I prefer this over like EP. This is the back wall again, level 9 Datacrons all over the place. Some interesting ones as well, which we will get in detail like when we go to the battles. Then I went to the north wall, wanted to get this out, wanted to see if I need to clear ships or if I can, just, or at least clear ships, get to ships, clear ships, and then I can also fail on the south wall because I was more efficient at this point in time compared to my opponent. Yeah, and here I took in JML with JKR. JKR mainly just so that I could focus down Kylo Ren, and also like had the second source of increasing cooldowns on Daka with Mark. And also like the increasing cooldowns move on GML. I forgot the name of the ability, sorry. So I took out Kylo Ren first, and then tried to focus down Daka. Here she didn't bring him back, which was kind of lucky, but yeah, still okay. Ability block, then increased cooldowns, killed her. And now just taking out cooldowns again, increased. Taking my time, whenever available I go after her, so now she's down. I have my own ultimate, but doesn't do much at this point in time, it's just like for funsies. And now just taking out zombie and trying to get some protection back, but didn't happen. 56 is okay. Then there was this Iden team. I took in, as you can see, Darth Revan. Again, I also have Datacrons on my teams, but most of them is just like nothing that really impacts the matches, more like a little bit of health, like 2%, 3%. Because I didn't have like any dark side left or dark side Datacron, because I didn't have much of the first batch of them anyway, and for the second one I only had a few, and even though the stat boost applies to the whole team, doesn't matter which allies they are, only like the level or like the 3, 6, and 9 applied to a certain faction. It was nothing that really helped me. Here was another Datacron involved, but I think it was TM on death they get, which didn't really affect the counter, so I took in troopers. We focused down what's his name, Echo first, because he's the one who can get you in trouble, and because there are only I had the stun Datacron on special. That was the one. And there's only like freeze. There's no pre-taunt, so it's an easy match. If you are faster, of course, which I was in that case. Then there was, again, 25% turn meter and other stuff on that one, which was kind of funny because you might be tempted to use like the one with 25% yourself, but then you would outspeed that team, or I would have. So I didn't want that. I wanted to go second because when Rex can do his form up first, you can dispel all the things, you have more buff to dispel, you get more turn meter, you can stun them, and that's why it was even simpler to take out a team because of that Datacron. Other than that, if you are faster than Rex in this battle, you have to open up with basic from Echo, or just to avoid that he dispels your debuffs with his form up. You want to him to do form up first, and then you take out fives, then you take out Rex and whoever is there as well. Barris would be another option for that team compared to Echo here, Tech, but yeah. Tech adds a little bit of as well with his translation, but anyway. Here the Datacron made the battle actually easier for me, so that was nice. Then their JMK with Mace Cat, and they had the stun Datacron, and they had the hitting under protection when JMK has high ground, which was a bit annoying, because normally this is or usually it's just a straightforward fight, but here with the as soon as they get high ground, hitting under protection is kind of neat, and compared with the stun, it's really threatening in a way in freeze. So I was not sure. So my goal was just to take out at least the sides, and then I can take out the solo JMK even with the Datacron without a problem. So that was my main aim, and as you can see, my cat almost is gone, and of course there was hitting immunity, so no regain of health here. So, and yeah, now she's out, and I'm like 1 versus 2, and now my goal was just to take out cat, just to not have to deal with her in the cleanup, and that happened here. So now I was even comfortable with losing this one. So yeah, I don't have this Datacron on JMK with the another protection. It's just like, it's too powerful to be kept alive. Yeah, I don't know. So lost that one, but it was okay. Got two banners. Then there was a level 9 Datacron on this small Mothma. I wasn't sure if that would work, and you can see she didn't have the one where you can basically cycle the Worthless Guy move or ability, but she had damage immunity, plus I forgot what the level 9 was. It was okay, but it was not the best version for her. But still, she took out Treya, and now it's just on Cyan and Nihilus. So it was a bit of a tricky one, because I thought it was quite powerful Datacron, and I didn't want to use the best teams I had left. So I thought like, maybe it works, and in this case, as long as Cyan survives and just it takes 1 AoE to at least kill more Mothma here, so then I'm fine. So they hitting Cyan. Now he has Helper Hatred, perfect timing, has his AoE available, so takes out all of them except Kara and the other guy. Then of course she comes back because of potency up, but I can take care of her in that case. So there was of course very bad banners, but still it's good to see that Treya works against these Datacrons without a bigger problem, of course. Yeah, then there was another Datacron on Hux. I forgot what it was, and I only had like a little bit of, I think, protection on mine. That's why I put it on. But other than that, this is like an old school counter. It isn't really affected by the Datacrons. Just take out Red Trooper first, and with Geo. So it's Geo Brute, Soldier, and Spy. Of course, you want to get advantage of our friend Hux here as well. But in general, the main focus is to get down Sith Trooper, which happened here. So Spy for the win. And after that, after Red Trooper is out, it's pretty much not game over, but it's a very easy battle, because you can go for whoever you want and don't have to fear the AoE or anything like that. And again, bad banners, but overall it's a very solid counter and very nice, very cheap as well. Other counters for that would have been Bad Batch or Padme, which I didn't have, at least because I already used Bad Batch. And so I was happy with this outcome, even though it's just like 54 banners. It's fine enough for me. Then cleanup. JMK opens with his bonus protection, so I have to wait. Cannot go after him immediately until it falls off, so I can go after him. Yeah, any move is quite useless in this case, except days. So now it falls off, so I have 5 stacks, and I can go all out on him, just like take out JMK here without a big problem. Yep, straightforward battle or straightforward cleanup. So easy enough. Of course, not full banners for the cleanup, but still was okay. Then we have a mirror of Dash versus Dash, like Dash with Vendor and Young Lando versus Dash and IG Queel. I sped it up because it took a while. Not in general, not a simple battle, but sometimes. So after I got Dash out, which I wanted to get out first, it was a little bit annoying because the interaction between Queel and IG are just unfortunate. You know you have foresight, so you cannot hit Queel. So then when you can hit him, then there's suddenly a taunt back up, and then there's auto cleanse, and you have debuffs to deal with. And blah blah blah. So just take some time, and also my damage output felt like not really decent enough. You cannot stun Queel as well, so it's a bit annoying. Again, foresight. So again, you just have to find the right spot or the right timing to make a big hit on Queel. It just takes time. And even though I have sped it up, it feels like forever looking at this. So maybe a little bit of in general this match. When I was looking at my opponent's roster, like I think it was 11.6 million roster if I recall correctly, so almost a million more than I have as of now. And all those Datacrons, I felt like, oh my god, this is why I hate Datacrons. Are like the way they not per se hate them, like the way they release them, that unlimited like refresh for those packs you can buy, and some people just like they dump their money into it. This is not an issue. You can do with your money whatever you want. I also spent quite some money on this game. It just was like really right in your face. So if you don't spend, you are having a disadvantage here. In this case, and I mean, I've been in that boat. I've been free to play for quite a while before I started whaling, or like spending money. I think I spent money the first or second time GAC came around, because I was very close to getting everything together for the unlock, but I still needed some stuff. I think it was gear back then, and so I thought, okay, I can also spend money to buy that gear now. And this was the first time, and then after that I kind of, whenever I felt like I can speed up the process, why not? Because in the end, time is money for that game. So, and I did it. But now it's the first time I really feel that it makes a huge difference if you have more money or not. Because these Datacrons seem overpowered, such as this one. This is the level 9 Datacron on Commander Luke Skywalker. Damage and Unity for 2 turns. Plus, I think he gains 100% turn meter health and blah 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 when he is the first time like hit under the protection or something like that. So I wasn't sure if this would work, but I felt quite comfortable with taking in Aiden without any Datacron or something. And I think range is a very nice addition for her in freeze because of the retribution, but also because of the additional assists you can get. I mean, they're not guaranteed because, as you can see, I have no buffs and 2 of my characters are stunned. But still, it kind of works. Of course, there's a little bit of luck involved. If he just goes for one character, it kind of would have been over. But overall, I can stun at least CLS, which is nice. Now I have to get back to my... What's it called? I forgot the ability name again, but it just helps to stay alive. And now in this situation, when the debuffs are gone and I have my turns, I felt comfortable with killing him, so it was nice. And so the level 9 was kind of used as again. And for all things purposes, I also would have had my own CLS. So my first thought was mirroring it, but I wasn't sure if I would want to do that. So I took an Iden, and if it would have failed, I would have taken something else. I would also have had C still available for this match, and then I ran in this, like, I think it's also a level 9 Datacron, which is for Finn, OG Finn, that is. And it's quite interesting, like, he takes turn after turn after turn with, like, this spam. And so my CLS was kind of shredded. But I also played it poorly because I never faced that Datacron. And as you can see, it's just like, what's going on? Like, I think this really can get you off guard if you don't really pay attention to it. And I didn't really. I just thought like, it's Finn Po. What can go wrong, right? And so it took me a very good team already just to take out Finn. But after that, I felt like, okay, I can, even if I have to throw in like 10 teams at this, I can really get it out at some point. And now Poe is out, so at this point, okay, I think this is a 2-shot, which is nice. But still, could have made my life easier if I just would have taken in C also, or taken in C versus CLS, and then go after that with the Imperial Troopers. But anyway, so cleared that as well, and then I think that we're all the bottom, or like the ground battles, and we are now into ships. And as always, I don't really talk about the ship fight because it's just button mashing for me. I'm not really, but yeah, can go into like the thoughts on that match. So as I said, like when I was looking at the roster of my opponent, I felt like, okay, this is like a weird match. I guess I'm like out-GP'd. Mods were super as well, and also having a disadvantage on the Datacrons, like a big one. But yeah, luckily my defense was strong enough to trip him off like several times, so that he even could get a full clear. So I guess in this case, I don't want to say it's skill. I just wanted to say that I kept the right teams for offense that helped me to get through the defense, no matter what defense there would be. And I guess this is just the way you have to go forward in this day and age of Grand Arena. If you're facing an opponent that you feel has like outgunned you, you just I guess you can go super hard defense and force them into one direction, and you can try to play more efficient. Like they just clear either north or south or something. Or you just like try to play some sort of efficiency with a little bit of cheese, but not really cheese. Like my defense was not cheesy, but it was also not like super rough, because I still had C left for offense, right? So it wasn't the hardest defense I ever placed, but it was still good enough to flip my opponent up. And yeah. So I guess there, even if you feel you're outgunned, also you can still make something out of it. And so money isn't everything in this game, even though at a certain level it is, of course. If you like have 5 million and you face someone with 10 million, he just walks over you. There's no way around this. But if you like, let's say, I don't know, 1-2 million apart, there is still a way to win things, of course. And even with Datacrons. Even though I'm hopeful that like the next set will be toned down a little bit. I think like those damage immunity 2 turns, 25 turn meter and percent turn meter and all this kind of stuff, I think it's too powerful. Yes, it opens up counters that haven't been there before, but I don't want to relearn the game every other month, because or every month essentially, because with every new set you have to relearn things, and I'm fine with deepening my knowledge about these things. That's not a problem, but I don't want to have to throw it all out the window every other month, right? Or every month. And because then the game for many people already feels like a chore. And so I didn't want to become a total chore. But we're saying that I fought against this rather traditional comp of Executor. I could play Finalizer, and so far so good. Usually it's like clockwork what happens there, and here as well. I take out Hound's Tooth here. Ideally would have taken out Slave 1 already. Usually that's the big problem if it's not. And then the wrong reinforcement comes in. Not the wrong, but like the one that makes things a little bit tricky because it has days after bombs go off, the Civ bomber. And so I felt like, okay, this might be a 2-shot, but I'm also okay with a 2-shot. As long as I've taken out most of the ships, I'm fine. And even taking out Civ bomber, so even more like in a 2-shot territory already. So can pretty much comfortable clear this as well. And at this point I already won the match because I knew my opponent couldn't clear because there were like 7 tries of each of my remaining teams and they both were not cleared, far from being cleared. So I felt like, yeah, this should be enough. And yeah, so taking out, I think, IG-2000 here, yes, and it's just like Razor Crest was also close to being like a 1-shot, but then, yeah, the ultimate goes off, you're stunned, and if they just then focus down your silencer, that's pretty much it, because unfortunately, Echelon is not strong enough to do that by itself. So, yeah. And there's quite some health steal on silencer as well, so even though there's in red, one big hit and you're back in yellow or green, that can help, but yeah, didn't help this time, so this is a loss, but at least I got 6 banners, I believe. Yeah, 6 banners, so that was nice. And then simple cleanup, Rebel Fleet. You don't need a reinforcement for that, but I still had some available just in case something goes wrong and you get like 30 dodges in a row, which can happen in fleets, which is just annoying. So yeah, but overall straightforward enough battle so that you can win easily. So if you ever see a lonesome ship with an executor, just take and run. It's so stupid. This is the last fight. I believe it's Tarkin. So I took in my executor for this as well. Again, I think also did that in the first round. But yeah, pretty straightforward battle. Even though, yeah, of course, when not interceptor comes in first, it can trip you up. But yeah, in this case, it wasn't really a problem. I think it's more of a problem if it's Thrawn. Thrawn for me is better with this ship compared to Tarkin, just because of the how to say it, the abilities to keep your team alive longer, push back turn meter, heal your team, or at least some of the ships, and having the insta-kill is kind of more powerful than the offensive boost and the offensive TM gain you get from Tarkin Fleet. Tarkin Fleet isn't bad, but still. Here I lost Hound's Tooth, funny enough, so it wasn't so straightforward. But now Interceptor is out and just like 1 ship left. So, or 2 ships, wow. Who would have thought that? But overall, yeah, even if I wouldn't have cleared, it would have been an easy enough, not easy enough, but a good enough win for me. Which I was quite happy with the win because I never faced such a defense before with like so many level 9 Datacrons and good ones and essentially having to think about how to tackle each and every team. But as long as you have the right tools left for offense, then I think it wasn't that much of a problem. And in some cases, it even helped me to win the match easier, like with this Rex fight. So yeah, that's pretty much this fight and the final result, as you can see here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Was a fun match. Shout out to my opponent, and thanks for watching. See you the next round, which also is an interesting one. So, bye.